Welcome to our channel, His Way is Perfect. Today we will cover the first resurrection, Revelation chapter 20, verse 6. Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection. On such death hath no power, but they shall be priests of Elohim and of Christ or Yeshua, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. What is the first resurrection? If you're new, consider subscribing. In my last video, I went over the 1,000-year reign and a semi-complete end-time timeline. I illustrated that the war where Gog and Magog come and fight against the children of Israel in the book of Revelation and in the book of Ezekiel is the same event. Ezekiel chapter 38 verse 8. After many days thou shalt be visited, in the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people, against the mountains of Israel, which have always been waste, but is brought back out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely all of them. Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land, and all thy bands and many people with thee. Revelation chapter 20 verse 8. And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is of the sand of the sea. Ezekiel says, Thou shalt come like a cloud to cover the land, many people with thee. And Revelation says, Thou shalt come to battle. The number is like the sand of the sea. Revelation chapter 20 verse 7. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is of the sand of the sea. Ezekiel chapter 38 verse 10. Thus saith the Most High thy Elohim, It shall come to pass, that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. Revelation says that the devil shall go out to deceive the nations. Ezekiel says things shall come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. Without a doubt, these two events are one and the same. I came across a video where a preacher claimed that they were two separate occurrences. It's distressing to witness someone intentionally stating something incorrect to further their own agenda. But back to our subject. To get the answer to the first resurrection, we need to focus on Ezekiel. Ezekiel chapter 38 verse 8. After many days thou shalt be visited, in the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people, against the mountains of Israel, which have always been waste, but is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely all of them. So Ezekiel chapter 38 and Revelation chapter 20 is about Israel being gathered and being at rest for 1,000 years until Gog and Magog come against them in battle. But Ezekiel 38 specifies or mentions being brought back from the sword. The sword is death. So now we go to Revelation chapter 20 verse 4. I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the soul of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yeshua, or for Christ, and for the word of Elohim, which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received a mark on their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Christ, or Yeshua, 1,000 years. But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection. On such the second death hath no power, but they shall be priests of Elohim and of Christ, Yeshua, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. So what is the first resurrection? The first resurrection is simply Israel being gathered out of many countries and brought back into their own land. When it says brought back from the sword, it means death. So now we read Ezekiel 37 verse 1. The hand of the Most High was upon me, and carried me in the spirit of the Most High, and set me down in the midst of a valley that was full of bones, and caused me to pass by them round about. And behold, they were very many, and in the open field, and lo, they were very dry. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, and I said to the Most High, My Elohim, thou knowest. Again he said unto me, Prophesy unto the bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Most High. Thus saith the Most High thy Elohim to these bones, Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and you shall live. And I will lay sinews on you, and I will bring flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath into you, and you shall live. And you shall know that I am the Most High. This is the first resurrection, Israel being gathered from the nations. Israel is now currently dead, walking like zombies in The Walking Dead. They are the poor in many countries. They will not be resurrected until Yeshua comes back and they are given the law. They are dead in the fact that they have no hope, and they are without hope because they have broken the Most High's commandments. Ezekiel 37:11. Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say our bones are dried, and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, Thus saith the Most High thy Elohim, Behold, O my people, I will open up your graves, and cause you to come out of your graves, and bring you into the land of Israel. They are not literally dead, but without hope, or in a state that is considered worse than death, because death is better than having no hope. Lamentations chapter 4 verse 9. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger, for these pine away, stricken through, for want of fruits of the field. The children of Israel are currently enduring immense hardships and are living without hope. They face hunger and rely on public assistance to survive. Moreover, in numerous countries, access to clean drinking water remains a critical issue. These challenges, including the situation in places all over the world, will not be resolved until Christ or Yeshua returns and they are given back the law. It is through the intervention of Christ or Yeshua that they will be saved from their ongoing state of despair, marking the occurrence of the first resurrection. The Bible is not always literal. For example, Deuteronomy 4 verse 20. But the Most High has taken you and brought you forth out of the iron furnace, even out of Egypt, to be a people of inheritance, as ye are this day. The iron furnace is not literal. 1 Kings 8:51. For they be thy people of thine inheritance, which thou brought forth out of Egypt from the midst of the furnace of iron. Jeremiah 11 verse 4. Which I commanded your fathers in the day that I brought them forth out of the land of Egypt from the iron furnace, saying, Obey my voice and do them according to all which I command you. So shall you be my people, and I will be your Elohim. The iron furnace is a metaphor in these verses that symbolize the harsh conditions of slavery that the Israelites were experienced in Egypt. It was not an actual iron furnace. The first resurrection is not from actual death. The bottomless pit is not actually a bottomless pit. And the lake of fire is not actually a lake of fire, like Egypt was not an actual iron furnace. Ezekiel 37 verse 11. Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say our bones are dried, and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, Thus saith the Most High thy Elohim, Behold, O my people, I will open up your graves, and cause you to come up out of your graves, and bring you into the land of Israel. And you shall know that I am the Most High, when I have opened up your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves. And I will put my spirit in you, and ye shall live. And I shall place you in your own land, and then you shall know that I, the Most High, have spoken it, and performed it, saith the Most High. Again, this is the first resurrection, and you line that up with Revelation chapter 20 verse 6. Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection. As such, the second death hath no power, but they shall be priests of Elohim and of Christ, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. What a blessing it will be to have survived World War III and be allowed to be brought back to Israel to reign with Christ or Yeshua for 1,000 years. That's the first resurrection, being from this dead state without the commandments and without any hope. What a blessing it will be. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.